You guys delivered a pretty good quarter in the third quarter. You're about $7.2 billion operating through 3 quarters. Your market share is up. Some of your products are dominating some key segments, but your stock price is off about 1/3 from the IPO offering, which will be a year tomorrow. What do investors need to hear from General Motors that they're not hearing?
Well, first I'd like to say I'm honored to be here. And I especially appreciated the blessing because it sounded like one of our monthly reviews. First of all, the plan, the business model that we articulated at the IPO, and the results that we projected, and I was on Mad Money last week, which was a real career risk, on the day of earnings, we've more than exceeded the expectations. But at the same time, there's such systemic risk in the country. In fact, our stock has performed actually better than some of our competitors,
right.
Some of our domestic competitors, some that reside in this city, fine city. But it's kind of like saying, well, okay, who's the tallest midget? It's not good enough. And so we have, I think, posted reasonably good operating results. We've gained share for the first time, I think, since the late 70s,
right.
In 2 successive years. And a wise man who was in a similar situation to me, Lou Gerstner, when he took over IBM in the year they lost $19 billion in the prior year, said to me the only thing he worried about was, were the products of quality and were the customers happy? So we have to perform. There's just absolutely no question about that.
Tomorrow, as we discussed, is the 1-year anniversary of the IPO. The government still owns about 26% of the company. I'm curious, and I know a lot of people, I think, are probably curious about to what extent the Government Motors moniker is a drag on your business, if it's a drag at all, and to what extent you have any real day-to-day or week-to-week or month-to-month interface with the Treasury Department. Certainly the market share numbers would suggest that you're doing some things right. So what exactly, where do things stand with that whole situation?
Well, they still have a say on pay. Let's say we do $8 or $9 billion in profit this year. The top 25 people aren't eligible for bonus because people don't like executives getting bonus, and we have some very, very good people that could do well in other companies that are doing this one for the home team. And I have a lot of respect for people that are see this as something bigger than themselves. And we talk about that a lot. That this is somewhat of a mission of love, and there's a certain degree of pride of bringing the company along. The government doesn't ever involve themselves. I don't talk to anybody at the Treasury unless they call. I certainly want to be courteous. They extended a hand at a very difficult time, and this company will always remember that and be thankful for it. I think we've been one of their better success stories. We are a work in progress, though, and we have a lot of work to do in order to call this thing a success. Could the United States withstand a recession in Europe? I think we could. Consumer spending in this country is actually up for 5 successive months. It was up another 0.5% last month. It was up 1.5 points from August to September. So the U.S. economy is percolating along. It's not to say that we don't have some same systemic issues about sovereign debt in this country that we obviously need to address. If the question is the contagion of Europe going to affect the rest of the world? And I don't think this is actually all that newsworthy or revealing thought. Is our policymakers, not just in Europe, but in the United States, around the world, you know, it's an issue that we better be paying attention to, because I think the 2008 recession, which was a bubble, a credit bubble that manifested itself in primarily real estate market, that was a serious threat, and I think the government took some and really insightful actions. This is much more serious and harder to, because I got to look what's going on in Greece. Could that happen here?
Do you think there's likely to be a crack up of the euro and that and that it starts to break apart and people leave, or is it too soon to tell?
Well, you know, I have enough on my plate. I wouldn't doubt it. I know they're going to fight to hold the euro. I wouldn't be surprised to see a two-tier system.
Right.
You have these economies that are more sound than others, and you may see, as you know, the pigs, as they're not very delicately called, Portugal, Ireland, Italy, Greece, and Spain. There may be some subset of those that kind of get a euro prime or something, I don't know, but you know, it's kind of like I was listening to the minister here. We're dealt a hand, and we have to play it as best we can, and it may get a little ugly at times and a little bumpy, but we are now in a position, I think, from a corporate point of view, that we can address these issues and hopefully manage through them successfully.